3, 2, 1. And guys, would you believe it? We're actually back into the game. Alright, okay, so let's just remind ourselves where we were at. So, very simply there is, nothing too complex going down here. Delane, he is just throwing down a spawning pool followed by a hatchery on the low ground. And No God's doing the same thing, only he's put his hatchery down a little bit faster here and delayed that spawning pool by a little while just at the start of this. So yeah, exciting times. Thank you, Big Bogia, for hitting the follow button on Twitch as well. May as well get these Twitch shoutouts going because it doesn't look as though we're going to have too much going on in the early stages of this game, although Delane does take himself a gas here in his main base to get things going. So gasless play so far from No God. It's not exactly too late for him to take gas and to go into speed, but that could definitely be the direction he is heading in right now, whereas Delane looking more as though he would like to head into Zergling speed and maybe try and do something with that early on in this game. A couple of queens on the way out now for No God as this spawning pool finishes up, and still no sign of that gas, so really looking as though it's just going to be a gasless opening out of our team Extreme Supremacy player here to start things off. A couple of links coming across from Delane, and this is going to be really nice for him because there's nothing at all to deny him getting into this main base and scouting. So I'm actually surprised he takes the fight here. Ooh, nice little bit of control, and he messes it up in the end. I actually don't like this. I think he should have just gone into the main base. I mean, he doesn't know what his opponent's going for right now. He doesn't know if he's got gases or not. So Delane has to play like, he can't react. It may be his build doesn't matter what his opponent's going for, but he can't react. It's always better to have that information than not to. So I feel as though he had an idea about being aggressive with them Zerglings, but then he and maybe thought he could out-micro his opponent, but in the end he couldn't, and then, as a result of that, he has now lost the opportunity to go in and scout. The Queen here will be able to get that Zergling, so, No God's not getting much scouting either. Although he has actually already seen that gas finish up here, and I'm not sure how long ago he saw that. I'm not sure if he knew exactly how much has been mined from this. This is a lot of gas being mined because we've got speed on the way. We've had gas continued mined from it so that the Bane nest can come down, and we are starting to see an influx of Zerglings here. So right from the start, Delane is going to try and get very aggressive. He's about to lose an Overlord, and this is bad for him. He actually starts up a lair now. So going into a lair behind this, gas has been taken by No God. It's been double gas. He took it at 545, so he could maybe, if he would like to, still take Zergling speed if he wants, but I would imagine he's just going to go straight into roaches and upgrades, and that looks as though exactly what he's going to do. Adding on his, just finishing up his wall here with that Rotron Evo Chamber. Queen's in position 2. Spinecrawler will help out with the DPS, and it's going to be very unlikely that Delane will find a way to truly poke up this ramp, and even an Evolution Chamber coming out to, just block this Spinecrawler a little bit as well, so don't think this is going to do anything. The Lings may try and run in. I guess they could maybe try and target down the Rotron if they wanted to. They could try to do that, but I'm not, again, how successful is it going to be in reality? Probably not all that successful. A couple of Overlords just spreading out in different directions right now. And Delane looking to try and get in here as the Queens move forward for No God, but unsuccessful, unfortunately. Only a single Baneling morphed in for him. He's stacking up a lot of gas now as his lair finishes on 4 gas guys as he will throw down the Spire. So Delane going to tech into Mutalisks from this point, and he might lose his Queens here. Fighting in range of the Spinecrawler and with transfuses, though, it looks as though it should be okay. However, considering he's going Mutalisks, every transfuse and every Queen he can pick off is definitely going to help him out quite a bit in terms of, how effective his Mutalisks can be. So getting 2 Queens here probably is pretty good for him overall, pretty good for Delane overall. He also sees a drone heading over to this third base, so he knows his opponent's starting to take a third hatchery. 9 roaches were on the way in the production tab, so No God is actually going to start moving across the map a little bit with these to see if he can get any damage done. Delane, his Spire's only about halfway done. He has on 3 Spinecrawlers right now. He's getting some more Lings out on the map, maybe looking to launch a counterattack here in the very near future. As these roaches start to head across, he might actually get a counterattack on this third base, and that could be pretty useful. Maybe even get these Queens, that'd be pretty useful as well. He gets one of these Creep Chambers here. He's going to be able to pick himself off a Roach as well. Evo Chamber wall coming down to buy some more time. Where are these Lings going to go? They are going to move towards this base. The Queens, I think 2 Queens, one of them has a transfuse, but is he going to use it? No, so that's not so great. Roaches are trying to get their way into this natural expansion here. Drones will help to block as the Spinecrawlers do begin to finish up, so a little bit of moment of scare, moment for Delane to be scared here. His Spire has finished, so he can start up them Mutalisks, but he hasn't started them just yet. More and more Lings coming out here. Delane's actually taking a lot of economic damage. At the same time, though, he's killed off both these Queens and he's working down this third base, so he can hold on here. Maybe the Mutalisks can get something done. 5 meters now on the way, but he's going to be playing from a bit of a drone deficit, really, and well, he will clean up these spine crawlers. But again, I mean, he's playing from 13 drones behind. How many workers was there? Only 7, so he was playing a little bit behind in workers anyway. Of course, the idea being most likely that the Mutalisks will hope to do some damage straight away, though. Hydralisk then comes down from No God. He has lost this 3rd base, but that's not the most of his worries right now. I mean, he did some good damage with that little attack there. So now it's just all about holding on for him. He's continued to drone up, so he's up in 15 worker advantage, and with a 15 worker advantage, again, I mean, throughout the game, you should be able to start taking advantage. 3 queens here, and it's better than the many queens that would have been out earlier on. And he's actually going to keep on committing to these queens. But another queen coming down the ramp. Mutalisk moves away. This is kind of okay-ish, kind of, sort of, maybe. But he loses another Mutalisk. And Hydralisk's on the way as well, so of course, I mean, this is a very limited amount of time where Delaney's going to be able to do damage, because as the queens fall, the Hydras will start popping out, so it's not like he's just going to have free reign over this drone line. He will for a very small amount of time here. He's going to go for another queen, but now the Hydra's popping. These Mutalisks are in a lot of trouble, and they're all just kind of going down here. Delane doesn't really pay attention too much. He loses a lot more meters than he ever should have. 7 in total, and I mean, how much damage was done? 3 workers killed. Well, he had 1 before that anyway. So, I mean, he's actually down 10 workers now. He didn't kind of do the damage he needed to, and now there's a Roach Hydra army out for his opponent. There's no way Dylan's going to be able to take a direct engagement in this game. Not for a very long time here. I mean, he's fighting Roach Hydra. He's fighting, Roach Hydra with +1 missile attack finished. Gravity Constitution's on the way in. A Spore Crawler comes down, and a Mutalisk Hydra and a Hydra and the Queen will help against these Mutalisks as well. The Queen goes down. This will pull the army back for now, so I mean, Delane's getting himself some time. As I mean, what he really needs to do is just find a way to move towards his 3rd base and to get into kind of some kind of roach composition himself, because he's just losing so many Mutalisks, now down to 8 Mutalisks lost throughout the game. I mean, as it goes on, it just gets worse and worse for him. I mean, he's not got a scary number of Mutalisks because he's been trading them off for queens, and because he doesn't have a scary number, what's he really looking to achieve with these? A bunch of Lynx going to try and hit the 3rd base, but they're greeted by Roach Hydra and they just evaporate. Mutas are going to work their way onto a Gas Geyser here, an Extractor, so this is kind of nice. He's going to be able to get himself an Extractor kill, maybe, no, he backs off, and I mean, again, Dylan just finding it hard to find any way to really do any damage here. And I mean, he's going to be able to pick up this Spore Crawler, but now he actually loses a Mutalisk. He doesn't even get the Spore Crawler or the gas. And he loses another Mutalisk and this Roach Hydra army for no god. I mean, he's being so cautious, right? He's just waiting and waiting. He's in no rush. He sees no 3rd base, so he knows he doesn't have to, commit to an attack anytime soon. He's got plenty of time. Just sit and wait. 3rd base will be under attack here as Dylan gets this Link counterattack into this base. This is something which No God is going to actually retreat to deal with. He might lose this though. I mean, there's nothing really here to defend it. These units are trying to get back as fast as they can, but it's already down to half health. Some Lynx peel off to deal with the drones, making Spore Crawlers. Mila's trying to come back into the natural. He loses 1 to the Spore Crawlers there, though. It looks as though, well, just not able to achieve anything. He gets half the hit points off of that hatchery, but that's about it. And I mean, getting the hit points off the hatchery is one thing, but I mean, it's not exactly like he's going to take the lead when he kills it off, because he doesn't have a 3rd hatchery of his own. So it's kind of just a nice little benefit if you can get it to work out. Coming in here, there's a Queen, there's a Spore Crawler, and the Mutas turn around. Roaches and Hydras starting to move across the map. Is he going to turn back again? I really don't think he should. I think he should just keep going. He's seen the continued commitment to just kind of Ling Muta. He should know that in a straight up fight, he has absolutely got this. So, he's going to, well, we're going to see a lot of Banelings actually morphing in right now for Dillating, and that's going to be basically his one hope here, to try and get rid of the Hydralisk with the Banelings, and then to try and sweep in with the Mutalisks to take down the Roaches. Will it work? Well, that's a completely different question, so let's find out. The Banelings are finishing morphing in. They do have Baneling speed, worth noting here, and No God is playing a little bit of a sneaky game. He doesn't actually Ling Bane though with an Overlord, so he's not going to overcommit too much here. He will actually just begin to back off, maybe go around the other side, pick off the rocks, just keep his opponent guessing while he techs up into Infestors here. Groove Spines gets all the other upgrades that he needs in this game just up and running and ready to go into the later parts of the game. A few Hydras here will actually get picked off, so Reinforced getting picked off quite nicely by Delane. So No God taking a little bit of damage, but again, I mean, in a straight up fight, all these Banelings really going to cut it. I mean, they really have to get some magical connections onto these Hydralisks if they want to make it work. 3rd base will now come down for Delane. As if you, oh well, here we go. The Banelings are rolling in. They're going for the Hydralisks, and the Mutas, in fact, will be left in the sky. And the Banelings just left. You know, the Banelings are going to be kept alive here, as the Mutas are going to start working down the roaches. So you know, actually, this kind of worked. He did actually have enough to take down the Mutalisks, and now the question is, can he take down that third base? Well, so many Spore Crawlers kind of makes it hard to believe the Banelings. They want to roll in here, but they just can't. They have to be very, very careful coming in towards the natural. There's just so many Spore Crawlers, and with so many Spore Crawlers, what can you really hope to achieve? He kicks on the Spore Crawlers at the front, but that's the last of his Banelings. And what does he pick up from here? Well, he's going to go for an Evolution Chamber. I mean, he's still behind, right? I mean, he's still 20-ish drones behind. And now he's actually going to start moving away to, you know, start dealing with these roaches. He's now fighting a Spore Crawler as well, which is a mistake, because he's lost 3 Mutalisks just doing this. So a little bit of a miscontrol there is really going to cost him, as he groups up the Mutalisks and maybe tries to come back in once more. Again, I mean, he's unsure exactly where he wants to go. He's going to try and run a few lings in towards the main base, try and pick off at these roaches. And, I mean, right now, it's actually just, no god, he's just massing up on queens. More and more lings coming across the map. The Zerglings in the main base are actually going to pick off one queen. Maybe it's close. And he does get one queen with the energy on it, so that's kind of nice. But still, how does he break into this third base? I don't know if he can. Well, he's going to find an extractor, which is, again, you know, it's nice. He's actually, you know, working his way back into the game. But no god, now he's got Infestors on the way, he's got +2 on the way. I mean, all this time it's just been getting better and better for him. Hydras comes a little bit too far forward and will get picked off here. The Ling numbers are continuing to rise. Will he go for more Banelings? I guess, I mean, it's the only real thing he has on the ground to fight with. Comes forward here again, he's going to take down a couple of Spore Crawlers. He should be able to cancel +2, and he will, so that's nice. Yeah, Fungal Growth actually misses from the Infestor. No god is really struggling to deal with these Mutalisks right now. Which are, you know, starting to actually do some kind of damage here. You know, he really was relying on the Hydralisks, but he just didn't have that many of them. Now 29 Banelings morph in. Fungal Growth does hit here. Oh, the Queen's going to be able to be enough though. Morbius clump up, and that's going to allow for another Fungal, but it's not enough. And he runs out of Fungal Growths, and Infestor's being targeted down. No god is taking some serious damage. Banelings are finished up here. Mutas will run. Overall, 23 Mutas lost in the game. How many Mutas remaining on the map? Only 9, so not that many, not really enough to fight these queens. He's going to lose another, so now only 8, now only 7. The Banelings are going to come in, go for the attack, and well, the roaches take a lot of damage from these Banes. There's only 3 Mutalisks left in the sky. There's more in the production tab. Baneling get Fungal Growth before they reach the mineral line. Another Infested. Infested's actually going to die here again, though, by mistake. He does deal with it. Delane is just going to run out of steam, though. He's just not really had enough throughout the game. He's not really had the drone count, and no god, he's had difficulty closing this one out, but he will be able to do it, I feel, with his next push across the map. I mean, surely now it's just a matter of time. But the Mutalisks have been dealt with. If Delane had maybe been a little bit more careful with his earlier Mutalisks, this game could have been very different. You know, if he'd had a lot more Mutalisks a lot faster, this game could have looked a lot different, because we saw Delane, you know, we saw no god, he did really struggle to deal with it. He really did. He was struggling to deal with the Mutalisks for some time, and that was after Delane had thrown so many of them away earlier in the game. Ling's going to launch a counterattack onto this third base here, where there's actually no defense at all, and Infested and Queen are moving away from it. So Delane's trying to keep himself in this game, finally going to get some economic damage down on his opponent. And I mean, this you know, it's kind of curious, pulling the army back. It's buying him time, but realistically, how much time does he need? He's 90-ish supply down. And that's a lot of supply. His Mutalisks are getting, you know, caught by Infestors and Queens as well, by the army trying to cross the map. More and more Lings trying to just stream up the upper right side. I mean, no god, somewhere's just thrown in another round of drones, and now he's up on 65 workers in total, as Lings are going to hit this third base again. I guess they should just go into the Hydralisks, and I mean, they will be able to trade off against these, but I mean, what's 3 Hydralisks at this point? The army's actually all the way across the map. It's going to commit into this third base here, and Delane is going to be losing this. So you will lose this third base right now as Lings continue to run by. The Muse are trying to come back to help defend, but realistically it's just way too little, way too late at this point. Queen goes down. The Muse coming in from behind. One Fungal Growth locked them down. The Hydralisks to finish them off. And it should be more than enough here, and that's exactly what will happen. The Mutalisks go down. GG, well played. And game number 1 goes to No God and Team Extreme Supremacy here in this best of 7 SC2 Improve Team League match. So a little bit of trouble getting started up here today, but we finally got into that game. We finally got ourselves in game number 1 on the scoreboard, and again, it is Team Extreme Supremacy who take that 1-0 lead in this best of 7. Guys, we're going to be going into a quick commercial break here while we get set up for game number 2, see who Nuit Blanche or Nuit Blanche are going to send out next. And once we know that, once we are ready to go, we'll be back into the game, back into the series as soon as possible. So guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're enjoying the show, hit that follow button on Twitch. We'll do some Twitch shoutouts once we come back here to fill in the start of the next game. If it's a little bit boring, you know, just the standard startup stuff. So you guys do that. We'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the music / ads until then, and we won't be too long before game 2 is on your screens. We are in the next game. It will be a TVZ as Poof comes out from Nuit Blanche. Now, I was thinking Poof was a Romanian Protoss player, but maybe I've got the wrong guy. In fact, I'm going to do some Liquipediaing and find out if it's the same guy or not, or what happened. I believe, yeah, I knew a Poof on Team Spectre, actually. Of course, it could just be someone completely different, but I guess I'm about to find out. Maybe it was a Terran player. My mind may very well be deceiving me. Well, if he's not on the roster, so anyways, we are going into this next game, guys. Ads should be over, so let's go into game number 2 of this best of 7 all-kill series between Nuit Blanche and Team Extreme Supremacy. In the upper right-hand corner, representing the latter of those two teams, Team Extreme Supremacy, we do have Nogard, the teal Zerg player. Welcome to the game, Nogard! This time, hopefully no internet issues, no delays, nothing like that. Hopefully just some straight-up StarCraft from the beginning. In the upper left-hand corner of Merry-Go-Round, starting with a command center first, we have Nuit Blanche, Poof. Poof. Poof is like that sound where someone just vanishes, like poof, and he was gone in a flash of smoke. So yeah, Patchy first into pool here for Nogard. He has sent his first Overlord in the incorrect direction, unfortunately for him. So he's not going to spot here that this is going to be a command center first for a little while. He's not going to spot that for a little while at all. So, you know, a little bit unfortunate. At the end of the day, it probably won't change his playstyle all too much if it's a CC first or Reaper build. I guess, you know, against CC first, you can be a little bit greedy. You don't... You know, I mean, even against Reapers, though, you can be greedy if you want to, you know. Against CC first, I guess you can allow yourself to be slightly greedier. We do see the gas being taken, and, you know, that could still be useful if you maybe decide to, you know, mass up a few lings and try and catch Poof a little bit off guard. That could definitely work out against this build, but I don't think Nogard's ever going to find out that I was a command center first, because he's heading towards the main base. He's probably not going to be able to, you know, see anything here other than Marines coming out. So, I mean, maybe you can say no Reaper, well... It may have been, and he is preparing for Reaper. He's got 6 Zerglings on the way right now, and they're just, you know, left at home. They're not being rallied out anywhere, you know, anywhere too far. They're just rallied on the ramp. So, you know, he's expecting a Reaper to come in. Once he doesn't see a Reaper, he may start thinking to himself, well, okay, what are you up to, instead of an early Reaper. So, SCV on the way down to the bottom right, or just the bottom side of the map, to see where his opponent is. He'll see he's not in the bottom side of the map, and you will realise that it's time to head up to the upper right. 6 Zerglings will move across the map now, realising there's no Reaper here. They're going to go and see if they can get any damage done. Now, Poof has not got his first Marine in a bunker, but now he does, and second Marine is not far from joining it either, and them 2 Marines will kill off that first Zergling there, and Nogard, poor Zerglings, just left out here to die, and Poof trying to pick off another, but sees 5 lings and will not test his luck. He's going to make sure the guys wall up at the front nice and quickly here. Zergling speed has only just started. We have seen Nogard just completely pull out of that gas once he's started up his metabolic boost, so that he can just get as many minerals as possible, and Poof actually going to get a really nice scout here despite a queen being out. He's going to get straight into this main base. He's going to see exactly what's up. He sees how much gas is being mined, and he will see speed is being researched. So he knows what's up. He knows what opening this is. Invest in another depot early on just to make sure he's not going to die to any kind of speedling run by. And very interesting, he's gone to a second and third barracks very quickly here in this game now. One very important way of, you know, one very important factor of his build here will be denying this Overlord scout. If this Overlord can spot no third base, which could be hiding down here still, if that can spot no third base, then Nogard will immediately start being a lot more defensive in his build order. You know, he's going to be like, okay, well, no third command center means I need an earlier Baneling nest. I need an earlier lair maybe to get Baneling speed. Maybe not the lair, but he knows he'll need the Baneling nest because the Banelings are what deal with any kind of early aggression from a Terran player. So that's what he's going to be needing to look into very soon, but it doesn't look as though he's interested in finding out about that just yet. He does see that second gas on the way up, and I would imagine, yeah, I mean 7 minutes has got to be the second gas, so I would imagine he knows what this is, and yeah, engineering bay on the way down. Right, so straight away here, I'm actually starting to think this might just be a big 2-base all-in from Poof. And I say this because last week when I was casting Fantasy on this map, in the Connecting Professional Esports tournament, Fantasy went for a 2-base all-in on this map, and it looked very much like this. He, you know, got one engineering bay for just +1, but look at this, the Zerglings get in here, and they're going to get a brilliant scout, and this is a huge mistake, in fact, by Poof to let this be seen. So he sees no third base, and immediately here, again, I mean, No God should be thinking to himself, well, I need to make sure I'm going to have enough units to deal with any kind of early aggression. And whoa, he actually throws down a Roach Run and a Bane Nest at the same time. So whether he was just planning to Roach Bane all in, or whether this is just his way of saying this is how I'm going to defend aggression, I'm not too sure. He starts up a couple of Evo Chambers too, so he is planning to continue on in this game with some, you know, he is planning to just macro in this game. So it is just, you know, the Roach Run and the Bane Nest combined to be used for his defenses here. One Queen taking a lot of damage, doesn't go down just yet. The Starport being added on, still no sign of that third command center, as we're seeing our 5 Marines being produced at a time. Stimpak's about to finish up here. He'll be able to start combat shields pretty quickly as well. That +1 about halfway done, and 7 Roaches on the way to deny this initial aggression from the Hellions. 9 Roaches, in fact. So a lot of Roaches getting out, being brought out here very early on. Of course, them Roaches, they're, ooh, a lot of drones getting picked off there. And a good shot on the Zerglings as well. Actually, only 3 workers killed, so not too bad. A lot of Roaches coming out, though. And the only thing I don't like about the Roaches is that once Poof sees them, he can go into some Marauders. And, you know, generally, Stimmed Bio is pretty good against Roaches. I guess it's going to be Roach Bane. It's going to be quite interesting. See how No God deals with this here, really. He's really committing to kind of multiple forms of tech. He's not getting any of his upgrades just yet. He's not committing to that at all. That +1 is about to finish, and Combat Shields is on the way. Another gas starts up, and we are just going to see a third command center from Poof, but he will still be very aggressive off of this army he's built up. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to not be aggressive at this point in time. He will actually just load up the drops here and send them out. So he's going to be looking to drop in towards the main base, while maybe running in towards this third base with the Hellions, try and get some more damage done while the units, the Roaches, out of position. I mean, everything for No God right now is positioned at the front. He's still actually building units. He's building a lot more Zerglings at the moment. 26 more of those on the way as he continues to push his creep out here. These medevacs are maybe going to just stop here and drop off, in fact, and try and do some damage. But again, I think I'd like to see him start splitting these units up and going in towards the main base. +1 armor now on the way as well, so he just adds on his extra production. 2 more barracks, another factory. Get that drilling claws on the way. And, well, okay, he will drop into the main base. No vision of this at all. This is something No God has not thought about. No overload over here. And without an overload over here, this is not good, because he's going to take a lot of damage. He might even lose his building lair here, which is a very delayed lair. These units will have to turn around from the middle of the map, and the lair will start to get targeted down, and this will die. I mean, the Zerglings are coming in right now, but it's already on a quarter hit points. He will just target it down. Main base dies, and Poof does some serious damage here to No God's economy in the early stages of this game. Now, No God, maybe it's time for him to go for a counterattack, because he's got a lot of units, and but is it going to be possible? I mean, there's still a fair few units back here for Poof. His third base is a little bit open now, and Poof will take the opportunity to run his Hellions in. He's going to start getting some economic damage done onto these drones. Some Zerglings do pop out, and they will start chasing these Hellions down, and, well, he's still wasting mining time. Drops trying to come back in. Zerglings in position at the same time. Roaches are coming up this ramp, and the Brunker will go down. Stim comes in, though, and without speed on these Balins, I mean, this army is just going to get absolutely obliterated. Drops come back. They're just going to land at the third base now. The Hellions are retreating as well. All of the Roaches have died at the front as these drops try and just do some more damage. Poof just continues to edge, you know, get further and further ahead in this game. He does lose these drops. He loses the medevacs as well. But I mean, he's in a fab position still. I wonder why he stopped making medevacs. He's actually just completely stopped making medevacs for a long time here, and I think that's just a mistake more than anything, because medevacs are always going to be a good thing to have. That might hurt him a little bit. A couple of mines, some Hellbats now morphed in from the early Hellions he kept alive. 2-2 on the way. So it's going to be equal upgrades when No God comes in for this one big attack to try and maybe change the momentum of this game. But without his Bane speed, you know, he's got no lair. Okay, he does actually have a lair. He's got a lair, but of course he's just not had time to start at Bane speed. He's going to get in towards the natural, and that's pretty huge here. So he could maybe get some major damage done. This army is spotted actually down here, and, well, some Hellbats getting some good shots off here initially. The Banes just aren't going to be able to do anything. They cleaned up a few of the Hellbats, but not too much. He's killed a lot of SCVs. He could have sent something up in towards the main base, I feel, but now he's just going to lose all of these Zerglings, because they're not going to trade well against this bio at all. The mine probably does more damage to the bio than these Zerglings will. and now they retreat out. I mean, the problem for this is No God, he just doesn't have an economy, you know, he doesn't have that great, well, I guess it's not that bad of an economy. I mean, 45 drones to 47 SCVs. But his opponent's still left standing with a pretty strong army. 2-2s on the way for the Terran player. That's something which No God's really going to struggle to afford. We see him start up to +2 melee. But I mean, where's +2 Carapace? I mean, he just doesn't have the gas for it more than anything. So he's in trouble. He needs to get his gas guys going on all of these bases. He needs the 6 gas as well. He really does. Just if nothing else, just to catch up on gas right now, because he needs gas units. He needs Baneling speed still. He doesn't even have, you know, Spire, forget that, you know, we're not going to see a Spire in this game for a long, long time, even if he was planning on playing Roach Bling Ling. I mean, he's sticking on Ling Bane, and he basically has to, because that's the scenario he's in right now. Poof's going to start getting aggressive, and his only chance to hold on is to just take some really great engagements with these low tier units, which is of course difficult. I mean, you know, Mutas are such a great tool for denying aggression from the Terran player, for shutting down medevacs, for, you know, turning the aggression away. Nice scan here. I'm surprised Poof didn't go a little bit further just to finish clearing these tumors, but pretty nice. Slows down some of the creep, forces some queens to come forward to respread this here. So just being nice. It wasn't even all of his army he brought along. He left some units back at home. He's just making sure he's brought just enough where he can, you know, pick up and get out with the majority of it in their medevacs if the situation does arise. So so back to the middle of the map here, he sees these queens, and actually there will be 2 dead queens now. Well, actually, they will survive, and Ling's actually going to come out to deal with this, so this should be an okay-ish fight. He forces the lift up. Poof's actually going to scan again, keep on cleaning out the creep. I think that might be No God's opportunity to leap onto that army and clean up a little part of it. Reinforcements are now coming in this time. 2-2 is finished for our Terran player, so it's 2-2 against 1-1 for some time here. Straight away goes into +3/+3 as well, and of course that's always something that the Zerg player does not like to see. I mean, you know, generally +3/+3 is where the Terran gets the momentum, especially in the later parts of the mid game, until the Zerg can afford to take up to Hive, to afford to get into Ultras and whatever. You know, that's the Terran's real advantage, and to, you know, be getting it here before the Zerg's 2-2s even close to finishing up, because +2 melee is nearly finished, but +2 Carapace is a long way off still. I mean, it's troublesome for No God right now. He's in a lot of trouble. He took a lot of damage early on, and I mean, it's showing. He just doesn't have anything right now. Some mines go off, and he will just commit forward here with everything one single direction. The mines have already been used up, so that's not too bad. A couple more mines going off here, but off of creep. I mean, how does he keep committing forward? Zerglings wrap around the 4. These Marines are just going to start splitting. Not the best of splits though, so No God actually will be able to push this back. And he pushes this all the way back, in fact. He's still down in supply, and you know, a lot of that is in army, but that was a great fight to start coming back into this. He now takes down a bunch of mines as well, so what a great little fight there. As a single Marine in the main base there. I'm not sure what that drop was about. We did miss the beginning of it, so sorry about that. 4th base being established for No God, so I mean, if with time he could maybe make a way back into this. He's got some money banked up. He's got 2-2 finish, and of course 3-3 is going to be the next worry for him, because how does he ever deal with a 3-3 Terran player? I mean, again, he still doesn't have a Spy. He doesn't have Mutalisks even close to being on the way. Some mines go off. Not the best of engagements, you know, not the best of hits from the mines at all. This time it might be a little bit better. Not really too much though. More mines going to continue to be picked off here, and maybe Proof just moving a little bit too far forward. And honestly, where is his army? He's got like nothing right now. He's got 16 Marines. I don't know where they are. I can't see them on the minimap or anything. This mine may be pretty huge. He just get a decent connection here. The Terran player is being forced all the way back into his natural. But that's pretty much going to be it, because now the mines go off, and that will be, you know, this will be No God cleaned up for now. He gets another couple of mines, but he's been taking great fights, and actually with the money he's got banked up at the moment, he might just be able to, you know, start to equalize the supplies. What a crazy scenario we're seeing these guys head into right now. I really feel No God, in the long run though, he's still, you know, he's still hurting from the lack of Mutalisks. I mean, if he had Mutalisks, even 5 or 6 Mutalisks, imagine how many of these medevacs die, and imagine how much of a hit to that army that is for Poof. So, I mean, that is huge. We see some Lings actually heading around for a counterattack here. Trying to get in towards that 3rd base, but I mean, they're not going to be able to achieve much at all. They're actually just going to hide here. And, well, nice play by Poofy, yes, splits up his army a bit. Zerglings will survive, though, and Ling Bane coming back to the middle of the map now. He will take the tower, so, you know, from No God's vision, he will be able to see this army coming in. He'll decide how he wants to fight this, and he will start to come in. The mine hits start to go off, and, well, they go off on mostly Zerglings, but now there's only Banelings left over, and again, off of creep is not really a fight he can take. Scanning to see this 4th base, that's where he will be heading towards. Zergling's going to run into a death trap here. as these mines are kind of getting a little bit closer every moment. Some Zerglings getting launched on a counterattack. Again, they run past reinforcements of the Terran player though, and that's not what they want to be used for. They want to really kind of pick off reinforcements, you know, as efficiently as they can. Dropping it up into the 4th base here, so Poof going to continue to kind of just deny economy. And No God's actually just going to GG. He had a lot of money to spend, but I think realistically, it was just that point in the game where it had just gone too far, and he knew it was, you know, the Terran player just kept going. The Terran player had a 4th base. He wasn't getting any better for the Zerg player. You know, he took some great fights to stay in the game that long, but from there, you know, where do you go? Poof evens up the series here for Nuit Blanche, and 1-1 is our scoreline in this best of 7 all kill. Guys, why is the chat so quiet? How are you all doing? Let us know in the chat who you're supporting here today. Let us know what you're up to. Let us know who you're cheering for. We do want to know, and you know, we will talk. I will talk to you, I promise. So come say hello in the chat. Come say hi. Come chill with us. There's not actually that many people in the chat. So if you're watching on Team Liquid, you know, open up the chat. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. There's no trolls here because it's too quiet for trolls to be here. So guys, we'll be back in a few moments' time with game number 3 of this best of 7. As Poof will go up against his new opponent from Team Extreme Supremacy. Guys, we'll be back in a few moments' time. Come and say hello in the chat in the meantime, and hopefully we'll see if you... Alright guys, we're back and getting ready to go into game 3. Just getting our lobby hosted up and ready to go. So yeah, we're getting all set to go into game number 3 of this best of 7 all kill. How are you all faring? Hello Killer Bunnies in the chat. We're just getting set up into this, and just sending out a tweet very quickly. So we will be all set to go in a few moments' time into some more SC2 improved Team League action. Again, hello to everyone tuning in. Why are you all being so quiet? Come on. Come on, liven up a little. So yeah, just trying to make sure everyone gets into this lobby, guys, and we will be ready to go into the game. And I'm pretty sure this is the correct person who should be in here as well, who isn't right now. So hopefully that is correct. So yeah, our players are ready. We're going into our game, and as you can hear in the background, the countdown is started. So guys, let's get into game number 3, where we're going to have a TVP as Poof goes up against Levy. So who are you supporting? Who are you cheering for? Puros, Terran, Team Extreme Supremacy, Nuit Blanche, Levy or Poof? Let us know, because you guys are so quiet, it kind of hurts me a little bit. You know, there's nothing wrong, guys, with letting it go a little bit, you know, getting loose a little bit, like, you know, letting yourselves go, you know, saying just a little something in Twitch chat. It's okay. It's okay around these parts. It's not so bad. Okay. Actually, just got a surprising result through from the My Insanity Skillforge game, where My Insanity were defeated by Skillforge 4-1. So My Insanity currently leading the group now with 3 wins to 1 loss, and that actually brings Skillforge to 2 wins and 1 loss as well, with a match yet to be played against Followers of Extermination. So, so yeah, we're all set to go into this game, and we're going to do that right about now as we put on the in-game overlay. Isn't that exciting? Well, it's exciting to me. So, in the lower left-hand corner, we do have from Nuit Blanche, it is Poof, the blue Terran player, taking out No God in game number 2. And the second player out from Team Extreme Supremacy today is going to be Levy, the Protoss player in the red in the upper right hand corner. So all smiles and happy faces and whatever as we get set up into this, and just waiting to see this get set and ready to go. So good luck, have fun being called. We're just going to see actually double gas being taken here by Levy at the start of this game, and it's quite interesting because, you know, I would say double gas openings in PvT have definitely not been as big of a thing in recent weeks. You know, single gas expands have been kind of everything. You know, and you know, double gas expands still work too. It generally would suggest that he maybe wants to go into a fairly quick Stargate after an expansion, or maybe even before an expansion. He only has 2 workers in each gas, so I mean, he's really, you know, he's not getting the most amount of gas he can. He's going to get a little bit more gas than a single gas expand. But still, you got to wonder, you know, why does he want that little bit extra gas here? So, SCV from Proof going to be coming in towards the main base in a few moments' time. Reaper is on the way out. It's halfway done here. And Proof is actually just on 1 worker in gas here. So he's basically just saying, right, I'm going to, you know, just get the Reaper to get reactor down. And then he's going to add on barracks and engineering base. You know, he's not going to go straight into the factory. We're not going to see any early aggression with mine drop play or anything like that. Just going to be straight up bio play from the get-go here. As the Zealot actually comes out and has been allowed to finish. So actually this is going to be a Zealot Mothership Core Stalker poke. As you know, initially I thought this Zealot was very simply just to you know, distract from an early engineering bay coming down or anything like that. But no, in fact, it is actually going to be for Zealot Mothership Core Stalker poke. So straight away here, I mean, we need to see a bunker come down for Proof, like ASAP, because he needs to be able to defend this low ground, to defend this command center. So this is very important. Whoa, Twilight Council comes down very quickly. This SCV turns around. He will lose it to the Stalker. Another Stalker on the way. Mothership Core's on the way across the map as well. Reaper's meeting these guys in the middle of the map. 1 Marine is on the way out. And only 1 Marine. That's a little bit mystic. I mean, he needs as many units as he can get right now. Honestly. Well, the bunker's going to finish. So that's okay. He's going to get the bunker finished here. But I mean, what's the follow-up going to be? Is this going to be a Blink follow-up? Or is this going to be DTs? The Zealot and Stalker coming in now. I mean, with only a single Marine in the bunker, they can run straight past this. You know, there's no reason at all for them to kind of sit in here. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to run straight past this. They're going to kill off that SCV. They're going to kill off this other SCV as well. And they can just very slowly here work their way onto this command center. But they're actually not going to. They're going to be very safe here. So Levy being very careful. He's going to get another SCV kill in the main base. Actually, Proof really struggling to deal with this. Reaper pops up into the main base now. He will be able to see this blink play, and he will see that's just 1 base still. So this is the problem for Levy. His opponent knows now what his plan is going to be. So that is an issue. The command center has now finished on the natural. As Mothership Core pokes back in, trying to see if he can get any damage done. I don't think. Okay, Proof can just see that they decides not to chase after it just yet. So. So yeah, bunker actually unloaded here. Mothership Core has to be careful. He needs to keep that alive for his blinking towards the main base later on. Taking a lot of damage on that though. Reaper is going to get out of this base. Looks like though he took down a single worker here. 4 worker kills from Levy though is pretty decent early on in this game. He's actually 25 probes and 17 SCVs. He's delayed the orbital command as well, so that was pretty nice too. And he is going to throw down an expansion, so very interesting. He's not going to completely 100% commit to this. Still probably start blink. I mean, it's a very interesting way to play. He's going to commit onto this bunker a little bit and just try and trade some shields for some damage onto that, which is nice. Waste some minerals of the SCV repairing, forces these units to come down to low ground because he thinks that's where the next attack will come from. And we've got a bunker coming up on the high ground too, though, so it should be okay. I mean, I find it hard to believe Proof will struggle here, though. I'm surprised we don't see a Marauder on the way out for him. He's actually controlling this Reaper right now, and did he get some more kills? No, he did not. So very close to getting 2 more kills. We're not quite able to. Marauder now in production here as an SCV gets killed off, which comes out of the base. Doesn't see too much here though. Some Marines will go into that bunker there. So, I mean, altogether, a couple more Stalkers join in. A Dark Shrine now on the way too. Blink has finished. But again, Levy showed no intention of truly kind of committing to this attack. Will the Dark Shrine catch Proof off guard? Well, I mean, he's got an engineering bay on the way. I believe I saw an engineering bay in the way. No? No? Okay, I'm imagining things. So, I thought there was. I'm not sure. I think that was the Zealot that just got taken down there. So, more Stalkers warping in. Again, Dark Shrine's halfway completed here. He should not blink in. Bunker, the units are well positioned. He should not blink in at all. He should just wait this out and basically wait for the Dark Templar, I would say. Probably trade against some SCVs here and just make his opponent feel as though he needs to drop mules to stay in the macro game. And ooh, the blinkers are pretty good here. Doesn't lose a single Stalker, does he? No, he doesn't. Now he will. Levy pauses, and ooh, that was a little bit of an unfortunate time to start typing PP. He's obviously typing PP, and that's why he didn't pull his. He obviously was typing instead of controlling the Stalkers, so not the best time to pause, and he's actually going to be in trouble once he gets back into this, because that's going to be maybe this Stalker dead, and then maybe this one as well. Well, okay, Blink's off cooldown very shortly for these two, so maybe he needs to pull this one away and then Blink this one back as well. I'm not too sure. Okay, thank you, go. And we will go. And he will blink away with actually both of those Stalkers. So he gets away here. And Levy survives for now. Now, Dark Shrine on the way. What's that? 93 out of 100. I mean, he's not dropping mules, so he's saving his scans. He's saving multiple scans here, actually, as the Mothership Core gets very, very close. And does almost go down. Now, 3 DTs are being added on. Still no mules have been spent by Poof. He is just waiting and waiting and waiting. He's just waiting to see what he can get away with here. And, well, 3 DT is just going to get scanned immediately. He's just going to start picking away at the DT. Well, okay, one's going to remain in the natural. But, I mean, there's just more scans. He drops a turret in both the mineral lines. And, okay, the scan disappears. But still, I mean, you should be cancelling the turret. There's another scan coming down, and that's just 3 DTs gone for absolutely nothing here. So, Levy has probed up quite a lot from this, though. He's 22 workers ahead. How many workers has he killed? He's actually killed 16 workers overall, so it's a very weird game because, you know, usually at this point you'd be like, well, okay, you know, it's not really worked out, but he's actually done quite a bit of damage here, and he may get the bunker kill as well, which would just be icing on the cake. He doesn't get it, goes down to 1 hit point there for a moment. Gets another SCV kill. I mean, still nice to get some more time off of this bunker. Just using that blink as best he can. Temple Archives is finished here. And we are seeing gateways being added on. Charge on the way too from that Twilight Council, and Storm on the way. As +1 does sort of improve. I mean, I'm still worried about him because he's not been dropping mules. He's been behind in workers. He will start to fall behind here in the long run in terms of, you know, how much money he's getting. You know, he's gonna have to trade very efficiently in this game to be able to kind of keep up. So Stim does come in now. His units will blink away. Mothership Core still over. You know, okay, Mothership Core's gone back home. Very smart Mothership Core. Went back home at a good time. So yeah, I mean, with Bio and Medevac, he can trade efficiently, which will make up for his worker deficit. But still, I mean, Storm's on the way, Robo on the way, Charge on the way. The tech is starting to get there for Levy, so he's getting to the point where he probably can begin to deal with, you know, drops, to deal with Bio. He's looking okay. He's stopped producing probes for now, and I wonder if he's just going to commit to one big attack here. I mean, he's moving across the map with a lot of units. 7 warp gates are active right now. A probe gets killed off, sees these units starting to come out, some Zealots warping in, and they will finish before this pylon's taken off here. And immediately I think Poof's going to start realizing, uh-oh, what have I gotten myself into? What have I just walked into? Now, there is 2 storms available. These 2 storms are going to be absolutely huge. Only 1 bunker at the front, which is finished. The other bunker on the way. SCV is already being pulled. Another bunker, thinking about starting up another bunker, but then decides not to. He sends a single SCV out. Okay, now he will start another bunker. Waiting for another round of Stalkers here. It's all going to be about the storms. Can he get rid of the storm? I mean, the storms are basically going to zone out the SCVs from being able to repair, as the Stalkers need to fight the bunkers and not the factory now. And here we go. 1 storm on the SCVs straight away. Kills off a lot of them. And we're going to see Zealots charging forward here. The Stalkers stop killing the factory. That's the last thing you want to be doing. A nice storm on this army, though. Poof taking a lot of damage. And he will lose the bunker with the units. And another couple of storms just to zone more than anything, I feel. As these units are going to start storming forward. But he's going to back off. I don't think you should do that. I think you should just keep going. He's got a massive blink Stalkers. 1 bunker does finish here. But it might just be that he's got way too much to, you know, way too much for the template to actually, you know, do anything about this anymore. Way too many units. I mean, there's so many Stalkers. He's got Warp Prism on the way. He starts up a 3rd base. I really feel as though he had an opportunity to kill there. He's out of storms for a couple of more moments. Keeps his Observer alive just. Poof accidentally attacks his own refinery here. And 3rd bunker going to come up once again. So it's going to get harder for Levy to break through this. But I mean, I guess he did some decent-ish damage already. And now the Zealots come forward once again to commit onto these bunkers. A storm's available, and where will he drop it? On top of the army, forcing it backwards. Both bunkers cancelled apart from this one, which is already finished. There's another storm available, at least 1, maybe a few more coming up very soon. That storm made no sense at all. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because he's Protoss. No, it's because he has a huge advantage right now. And, well, the Zealots are going to die, but another storm comes down, and the storms are huge. Always land on top of the army, blinking forward with the Stalkers now, and Archon coming in as well. I just don't think there's enough here. The Medivacs are out of energy. The Medivacs is going to start dying as well to these units. The Archon will be very tanky as well. And with Blank Micro, it should just be more than enough. He blinks on top of the units. Who needs the Micro when you can just blink forward? And Levy takes the game. And what an exciting little game that was, as Team Extreme Supremacy retake their lead here in this best of 7. Whoa, like, what was that? I mean, that was just bonkers, right? Like, that was ridiculous. Levy takes down Poof. He really did enough damage. Like, inadvertently, he really did do enough damage and killed enough workers to put Poof far enough behind that he couldn't really continue on. Like, he lost so much mining time pulling SCVs, pre-pulling SCVs on the bunkers. I don't know if his SCV production wasn't on, you know, if he wasn't on top of his SCV production, if he was a bit behind on it or what. Because he deflected the attacks, but he inadvertently took too much damage, and that, in the end, was the death of him. Poof is taken down. Levy advances us to play in game 4 of this best of 7, and we will be back with that 4th game in a few moments' time. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, hit that follow button. Do let us know what's going down in the chat, how you are feeling. We've got Marmota making some jokes. So thank you for trying to brighten the spirit of the chat, but unfortunately, there's not much life in the chat right now. Come on, guys, let's liven up the chat. Let's do this, guys. We'll be back 3 minutes with game 4 of this best of 7 all kill. We've got some depressing music today, don't we? Okay, well, getting into our next game. And hopefully we'll be starting here in a couple of moments' time, guys, as we are just waiting right now for the players to ready up, as we're going to be heading into a ZVP on Nimbus. Levy will be taking on Likosa. So, yeah, we're just kind of waiting to kick some people from the lobby, and then we should be all set to go. So, yeah, we should be set to go in a few moments' time. Shouldn't be too long at all. Just waiting for one person to get kicked out here, and we should be all set to go into the CVP on Nimbus. How's everyone doing? We've got some more talkers in the chat. Monscream saying that was an awesome display of skill in that last game. Well, I don't know if that's a genuine comment or if that's a sarcastic comment, because you know, the majority of people would say that is a sarcastic comment, I think. Nothing against Levy, just I think, you know, the general Protoss hate train, you know, the circle jerk against Protoss. You know how it is. I've got no idea what else is going on. Apparently everyone is feeling each other and understanding each other's problems, so that's nice. At least, you know, at least as viewers in this chat, you can connect to each other. Okay, I'm just talking nonsense. It's 2-1 right now to Team Extreme Supremacy, and we are going to be starting off, actually not with their player, we're going to be starting off with Nuit Blanche's player in the upper left hand corner of this map. It's the green Zerg. Ooh, who is lagging? Because that's some pretty serious lag. And I don't think it's me. It really shouldn't be me. Is it me? Oh shit, it is me. But it doesn't make any sense for it to be me because I've got like 130 download or more. Hopefully I'm still alive. I'm not dropping any frames, so we should still be live. If the players can't feel, I guess it's okay. It looks as though we're fixed-ish. Still a little bit laggy. What's going on? I have 130 down. I shouldn't be lagging at all. My up seems fine because I'm still streaming. I don't really know what to say. It looks as though we're okay. Let me just... Well, you guys are definitely going to see this, but I guess we've got no option other than to just keep going. So, in the upper left-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player from Nuit Blanche. It is Lycosa, who is actually opening up with 3 hatcheries before pool here on Nimbus. And in the upper right-hand corner, the blue Protoss player from Team Extreme Supremacy. It is Levy. Benkro has left the game. I kind of feel it's me, though. But if the players aren't feeling it, then I'm not too sure. Like sure, if the players were feeling this lag, they would say something, right? Oh my god, this is awful. What's going on? Okay, I've dropped frames. I dropped 120 frames. That's only like 3 seconds of frames. What is happening? The game is fine when I'm not tabbed into the game. I know it's not actually. What is going on? I'm trying to close as much as I can. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I mean, we've got 3 hatch before pool coming out from Lycosa. We've got Levy up here. He's just expanding very quickly. He's got a Nexus first down. He's got his Cyber core now on the way. He's got a wall off on his ramp. We're still lagging. It just doesn't make sense. Stream seems fine, but game isn't. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, but I don't know if it's on my end. So we've got a very fast Twilight Council for Levy. This is like the most awful cast right now. I think we're gone. I think we're good. It does look as though we're good, actually. Okay, it looks as though we're good. So let's put this behind us and question it later. So, yeah, apologies for that. We've got Twilight Council here very quickly from Levy. So either DTs or Blink, and it will be Blink starting up from him very quickly. We've got Stalker and Zealot here doing a little bit of damage as well. Looking to try and pick off an Overlord. He might be able to. Zerglin's going to try and come in and help. In fact, he'll stop going for the Overlord to get the Zerglings. So, he gets a couple of Zerglings here. Let's get our heads into this game now. As these Zerglings hit speed, and they're going to come out, and they're actually going to be able to try and get this. They're going for the Stalker, actually. They know that's the more valuable unit here. So he's going to be able to get this Stalker in the long run. He's got the Zealot with the remaining Zerglings as well. So he clears this up completely. Of course, he can't get the Mothership Core. Overlord's on the way in to scout the main base. No movement from the Overlord in the, near the Natural, though. So it doesn't look as though Lycosa is actually going to spot that Twilight Council just yet, although he does have a bunch of links here, and he may be able to force a force field out of the sentry, which he does. Yes, casters. Yes, there's nothing here. Starting to work down on these rocks. Overlord now moving into the Natural, and honestly, there's absolutely nothing to stop the Scouts, so he's going to see something on the way, and he will see its Blink. At the same time, he also sees 4 gateways being added on in the main base, so Lycosa is actually getting a nice Scout here, and he should know, it's getting to the point where he should probably start cutting drones and making units instead. Because yeah, it's just kind of getting to that point in the game where, he's scouted that this is very likely going to be an all-in. We actually see 8 gateways in total here. So he needs to stop making drones, and he needs to actually go straight into now some Zerglings, some Roaches, and whatever else. He's starting up Spore Crawlers in case there's DTs, which, that's an okay move. But again, I mean, is he even going to have enough units? Because, I mean, he's gonna have to make some more Overlords. He's still got more drones coming out. He starts up a lair, he's just not got units at all, and this Overlord's trying to come back into the main to see the extra, I mean, if this Overlord came and saw the extra gates, then he'd know what it is immediately. As, I mean, he's still here, he sees their warp gates now, but nothing has hit him just yet. 12 lings on the way, he stores +1 missiles as well, he's taking his extra gases. Lycosa is surely just gonna straight up die to this fight, attack. He's actually supply blocked now. His Overlord's about a quarter of the way done. Spine Crawler going to reposition, adding on 2 more Spine Crawlers as well. And, you know, Levy's just going to start sending his probe across the map, start kind of leapfrogging pylons forward as he gets more stalkers in here. I mean, a lot of lings coming out, and they will actually catch this probe, so that's kind of nice. Catching the probe. I don't think Levy's actually going to care too much, though. He's at the point where... he's just going to warp in from this pylon here. He's just going to go for it now. The Stalker's taking some damage. There's a time warp to try and catch some lings. Not the best placed time warp, actually. There's a couple of spine crawlers look as though they will be finishing up soon. Some zealots and some stalkers on the way. A robot facility coming in as well in case of any burrow play. Get that, a lot of force fields, losing the mothership core as well. A lot of force fields to only catch a few lings here. I think that was a little bit of a mistake by Levy. As we, we'll be continuing on here. Creep continues forward, continues to creep forward, but it is denied as these units not sure exactly where they want to go. Taking their time about committing forward here, and it looks as though, I mean, Lucosa, the more time he's given, of course, the better this gets for him, because the more units he can build up, and of course, because he's already up at 57 workers, that's fantastic for him as well. He's starting to get some hydralisks out, which will help. He's about to get +1 missiles too, which will help also. And Levy's just continuing with producing stalkers. He's committing to this attack as these units are about to wrap around here. There's a row of force fields, and these stalkers are just going to start blinking away. They should be able to trade pretty effectively. There's still some force fields left over for the next round of units as he actually blinks forward here very aggressively, catches a queen, and he will start committing onto these spine crawlers. Needs some more force fields to block out a few of these units maybe. Transfusers coming down. I mean, the force fields helping out a little bit, getting a couple of queens out of this fight. As Roaches are beginning to fall, these spine crawlers adding so much DPS into this. Queens continue to fall as well. No more transfusers, but the sentries are gone, so no more force fields either. But is there any units left over for Lycosa? I'm not too sure if there is. As he continues moving forward here, these spine crawlers will continue falling. Couple of Hydras, Queen left over. Stalkers keep moving forward. Drones are being pulled, and that's never going to be a good sign. Some Hydras, maybe they've got enough DPS in them to help out a force field on the ramp, though. And the Stalkers will just blink away a few at a time from these drones. And yeah, well, lings are going down. The Hydras finally make their way down the natural ramp, but it's too little too late, and GG is called. Lycosa taps out, and Levy actually takes Team Extreme Supremacy up to a 3-1 advantage in this best of 7 match point now for Team Extreme Supremacy. So yeah, a bit of a weird game, especially because we didn't really start casting it until like 5 minutes from the end. Who was the caster in the end? Who was the lagger in the end? I think it might have been on my end, but I can't imagine it was lagging the game. If it was lagging the game, I'm 99% sure that players would have stopped and paused and, you know, waited for it to pass. So I really don't know. It was completely on my end. I just don't know what happened. I ran a speed test. I had, you know, I had my download. It was there. So yeah, not too sure. Anyways, Levy takes Team Extreme Supremacy up to a 3-1 advantage, and who do Nuit Blanche send out last? I think it's going to be Petit Drogo. He's one of the better players on their team. So I'm expecting to see him come out as their ace player, but we'll find out after this quick commercial break. Game number 5 on the way in a few moments, guys, between Team Extreme Supremacy and Nuit. A little bit of an extended break, not too much we could do about it. Team Extreme Supremacy, their life is on the line right now as they are... sorry, no, Nuit Blanche... sorry, my head. Nuit Blanche, they have their life on the line, while Team Extreme Supremacy actually have it in their hands right now to finish off this series with a 4-1 victory. Actually level, you know, go up to a 3-2 scoreline, which would be pretty nice for them. Pretty much at the top of the league. So top of their group after what was a pretty rough start for them in the first couple of weeks. So let's see what happens as we go into this game. As the ace player from Nuit Blanche was who I expected it to be. Now, someone has to help me out here because I'm pretty sure the Red Pros player Petit Drogo in the upper right hand corner of Catalina had a pretty sick run just recently in a tournament, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. And everyone was like, who is this guy? You know, we've never heard of him. Like, you know, or a lot of people like, we've never heard of this guy. So you know what's happened. I can't for the life of me remember what tournament it was in though. Like, I really can't. Was it? I start to say DreamHack Stockholm, but then I sort of think to myself as well, like, am I being stupid? He did get through his group stage. Well, I think it was DreamHack Stockholm, actually. Because I think he took a series off of mana, right? Group stage 2, Petit Drogo. Yeah, he went 1-2, and he 2-0'd Mana, and then he went 1-2 against Mana after losing to Jaedong 0-2 in the winners match. Okay, so it was DreamHack Stockholm that I was thinking of. There we go, we found it. Did it all on my own, way! Gold star for Wardy. So yeah, this guy, he's really good. He took 3 maps off of Mana. Was very unfortunate not to make it through his group. Excuse my phone, don't know why it's not on silent. So yeah, Petit Drogo in the upper right corner from Nuit Blanche, their ace player, going up against the player from Team Extreme Supremacy, who has the opportunity to get his 3rd kill in a row to finish this series off. It is Levy, the blue Protoss player, to the 9 o'clock position. So the other probe actually moving through at the middle of the map here. See what he's going to get up to. I would imagine he's just trying to scout. I mean, he's actually not been to the bottom side, so both of these guys are actually going to scout the first position. Find their opponents in the first position they're scouting, which is always a nice little bonus. Get that little bit of extra information here, as we actually have second gateways coming down for both of these guys. So Petit Drogo, he's actually going for a mothership core, a little bit faster than his opponent here, and that's the main difference of their builds right now. But Levy, both these guys have different ways they're going to play out this 2-gate opening. It looks as though Petit Drogo, he's looking to basically take a very fast expansion. With this mothership core sentry on the way out as well, so probably looking to get an expansion down, then add a robo facility as well. Whereas Levy, he's going to be looking to get 3 stalkers out as fast as he can, get out on the map, and do as much as he can in terms of aggression. He's actually a little bit supply blocked now, so he was delayed on this 3rd stalker, which is a little bit painful. As we actually have Petit Drogo just sitting up north with this probe. He's been in his scout, he's seen the 2 gateways, so he's aware of what can come out of his opponent. We actually see Chronobus and Warpgate here from Petit Drogo, who's actually started up a Stargate as well, so I am completely off in saying he's going to expand. He's just a completely safe opening. I don't quite understand why he's decided to go for the 2nd gateway. Maybe just feels as though Levy's a very aggressive player, so he wants to make sure he's playing safe. Petit Drogo in a little bit of trouble because his mothership core is kind of cornered off here. Will be able to make its way around though, so no real issue in the end. The sentry of course can defend the ramp, and I guess now he's going to get a couple of stalkers out, so just a slightly different opening. Complete misread by me, and yeah, everyone now actually helped me out in the chat saying it was DreamHack. So yeah, thank you guys. Well, like more than 3 people talking, it's amazing. So yeah, Levy moves out here with another with his stalkers. 3 stalkers still on the map. He hasn't seen inside the main base for a while, so he doesn't know about this Stargate or this Oracle, which is on the way. He goes into a Twilight Council behind this. He has actually left a stalker at home. He's got his mothership core in position as well, so he should be alright. There shouldn't be anything here which happens to him, which really does that much damage. He's going to expand off of this. And wow, Petit Drogo goes into a Void Ray with the 3rd gateway as well. I mean, he's actually really looking to get aggressive here, or extremely defensive. I mean, he's got this pylon though, so I mean, aggressive could definitely be his way forward right now, as all the stalkers are Levy positioned to deal with an Oracle coming in. This Oracle does spot the natural. It's going to fly straight over the top of it. Stalker's already in position though, and this Oracle is not going to be able to achieve anything at all, so Petit Drogo turns around completely, and another Stalker will get a couple of more shots on this to take a little bit of the shields off of it. So Petit Drogo taking a bit of damage on that Oracle will respond to the expansion of his opponent with an expansion of his own, and starts up a robotics facility, which is definitely a more standard way about expanding in PvP. Robo will get some Immortals out for defense. Levy's really going to be looking to play a very mobile, kind of out on the map style of play with this Twilight Council, with this Blink coming in. He's going to get a Robo facility too, so I guess it'll be nice if you can find a way to do some damage with that, and at the same time, keep his Immortal count up as well. So this Oracle is going to head out right now. It's actually going to head back away and come in later in the game. It's throwing that revelation down, and it's it's just going to keep an idea where what's here. Maybe see any of the making Levy make sure he picks the right probe to make his buildings with, so he doesn't give away all his information. Forge coming down at the same time for both players. So the main difference is that basically Levy's going to have Blink and slightly later Immortals, whereas Petit Drogo is just going to have Immortals and no Blink. So very kind of intriguing scenario we're in, very even situation. The worker count's dead even as well, 33 to 31, there's very minimal difference in it. So Robo Ray straight away here for Levy, so he's just going to go straight into Colossi, which is interesting as well. He's going to completely skip the Immortals, it would seem, as both of these guys start their +1 attack at the same time. So I mean, if Levy can survive a little while, he should be okay, because generally Colossi are the army, or what you want in your army. I would imagine he's going to use the Stalkers to try and protect the Colossi as best he can. He's going to get one Immortal. I mean, Immortals are always great as well. I mean, Immortals are so tanky. They're great at targeting down Colossi as well if they can get in range, of course. So that's always something to keep in mind as a Hallucinated Phoenix for Levy. We'll see. That's just very standard composition so far. As whoa, Petit Drogo throws down a Fleet Beacon. Now that is something which Levy really needs to click on, like right now, and he does click this. He's the Fleet Beacon on the way. So very interesting combination here. We did see that actually the initial Void Ray cancelled from Petit Drogo, so Fleet Beacon on the way, and I wonder if he's just going to go straight to Tempests to start countering the Colossi, which he's already seen coming out. Now he's actually going to grab 3 kills here with his Oracle, so the first kills of the game from this Oracle, and gets them 3 workers. We'll now be able to move away. An Observer here for Levy has just going to keep an eye out as this Hallucinated Phoenix just keeps on scouting. Now, interesting enough, have we seen this Robo-Bay? Okay, no. But he's going to keep on making Immortals here, so he's not actually going into Colossi just yet, despite his Robo-Bay being finished. He adds on the Templar Archives instead, so these guys are kind of starting to mind game each other. I mean, what is this Fleet Beacon for? Now it's scouted, is Petit Drogo even going to use it? Looks as though Levy wants to focus more on Immortal Archon composition. Okay, there's the Tempest, so it will be Tempest on the way out here, but I think Immortal Archon is a fantastic way to probably punish, Tempest, because again, Tempest, the idea of the Tempest is to kind of second guess the Colossi coming out of his opponent, but with the scout from Levy, I mean, Petit Drogo, it's I mean, what does he do? He's kind of spotted straight away, so it's kind of weird. Straight away going into +2 is Levy. He's already got that Twilight Council down to go into that, whereas that's something Petit Drogo has to wait for. So personally, I would say I kind of feel as though Levy seems to be getting further and further ahead as time just goes on. Another revelation was used down on the natural, just watching the pros, watching a couple of the units there. And he comes back into the main base, still yet to see a Colossus. And has he just cancelled his Tempest? I think, no, he's got his Tempest out. He's just sitting here with Dom. He's such a weird addition, right? We've seen a lot of gateways being added on here for Levy, and this could be the difference right now, because he is definitely going to be getting aggressive, and that's something which I'm not sure Petit Drogo is really expecting. He's got another gateway on the way, but that's still not going to bring him up to as many warp gates as Levy already has. And then on top of this, Levy has a ton more gateways still building, so he's really committing to a big 2-base attack here. I don't think he can actually move up the ramp though to 4 Immortals at Tempest as well. I think he'd be very hard pushed to move up here. This Oracle just coming in, gets deflected very quickly, actually feedbacked by Templar. So this is interesting. There's 3 Immortals against 4, a couple of Archons coming in. I like Petit Drogo. He's seen what's coming towards him, and so immediately here he's just like, right, gonna wall off and get myself some extra DPS when this army tries to come up my ramp. Levy's 20 army supply up. He's probably going to be waiting for +2. No reason to attack before then. Just continues to add on Templars, adds on a couple more, whatever he can. Another Archon now morphs in from that extra Templar that was added on. And counter-attack now actually coming in as well here. So this is pretty nice. Some more Zealots coming in here. And that was a couple of workers killed, just a single worker. But this free Zealot attack will do a little bit more now, of course. I mean, Levy has so many wolf gates that shouldn't bother him for all too long. Oracle comes in at the same time. Actually, he's really stacking up the worker kills now. So 10, 11 workers killed. This is starting to get really nice. It's starting to get to the point where Levy basically just has to come in here and attack because he's taking so much damage. 11 workers killed in total. He's sitting 12 workers behind his opponent, and he's going to come up this ramp. He's just going to try and break through. He's going to go for the pylons and the Archons, and well, everything is just kind of a bit of a mess right now as a force field comes in as well, and Archon's able to break through that. But I mean, so much DPS being spent trying to just break through here. The Zealots can't connect on anything, and this was not the best of fights from Levy straight away here. And he is pushed back for now, so good defense. And whoa, we actually have Dark Shrine in for Petit Drogo, and is there actually any detection over here? I don't think there is, so more and more workers going to keep on going down. We have got an Observer out on the map for Levy, so there is an Observer around, as we're going to see Zealots, Archons, and Maulers, everything trying to come up the ramp once again here, just trying to make this work. But is it going to be enough? Another couple of Archons coming in from behind, and I mean, it's very, very close, but I think Levy, I mean, Army Supply is very close. Levy's just run out of money, though, to keep remaxing because he's got no workers anymore, and with the DTs actually doing a lot of damage, the Observer was out of position. It's going to be GG, and Petit Drogo will take the game to take us to a 3-2 scoreline. Okay, very, very exciting. Not what I was really actually expecting to happen there. Well, I was expecting Petit Drogo to win, but a very weird game. Not the usual PvP you expect to see. I mean, that was as far from standard as it could go. I mean, Levy maybe should have just cancelled some gateways and took a 3rd base. But because he had an upgrade advantage. He had +2 faster, he could have gone into +3 faster. You know, he could have created opportunities for himself later in the game to take advantage from there. Them counterattacks on Petit Drogo just did so much, completely wrecking his mineral line. I mean, once that happened, then there was no opportunity for Levy to do anything other than to move forward and attack. But before then, you know, maybe he could have fallen back home. Maybe he'd have an observer with his army. Then maybe the DTs don't do damage, the counterattacks don't do damage. He's got his probes, he's got upgrade lead still. I still feel he has a bit of a composition lead as well. So I guess maybe no. I mean, there's a Tempest out, one Tempest though. You know, I guess one of them things you can discuss all day. Going to be interesting to see who Team Extreme Supremacy send out next. Could be Star Eagles, could be Beastie Cutie. Both players are around in the chat channel right now, so we'll see if they see who they're going to send out in this next game, game number 6, which will be coming up after this quick commercial break, guys. In the meantime, you can check out our Twitter at SC2_improve. I would say check out our website, but it's very out of date after I've just been so kind of, you know, shit just went down the last week. So yeah, we'll be back soon, guys, and game 6 is on the way, and I'll let you guys in here. Just got to invite our players in. It will be Beastie Cutie out next. Let's just invite everyone in, and then I'm going to actually just pop over into the chat to tell you guys it's Beastie Cutie. Okay, so we're getting people online. Beastie Cutie actually just asking for a couple of minutes, so no problemo at all. Yeah, you guys seem to be a little bit confused as well as me. Malmatar saying the Tempest was so random. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I really feel like the only thing is he just was trying to like blind counter Colossi. So I guess like that was it. I guess that was that. You know, I kind of think that was it. So because then he didn't make another Tempest, right? Once he saw there was no Colossi coming out. So so yeah, I don't know. Cheesehead logic. Heart says Beastie Cutie. Stats say Petit Drogo, but Beastie Cutie's a Terrence as mainframe. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to call. Beastie Cutie kind of wrecks shit up in these leagues. He really, really does. Petit Drogo has been wrecking as well. I mean, he got some good kills against ESC, took down Goodian people. He had some. I mean, Petit Drogo's been carrying Nuit Blanche so far this season. I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. I mean, even in the games they lose, he's basically the only guy winning the matches. So, Terran OP says Marmotar, Beastie Cutie rules says Killer Bunnies. So, we're just waiting for. So yeah, we're just waiting for Beastie Cutie to ready up and let us get into this game. Again, guys, how are you all doing? Good to see the chat's livened up a little bit. We'll be trying to stream every night this week, I think. Back into, you know, back getting things going once again here. I think tomorrow, again, did I say, Against All Authority versus MIA tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we'll have Vegas Squadron versus Carnegie Sports. On Sunday, we're going to have Startail taking on APSC2 Star, so that'll be a great match to watch out for. Should be a bunch of fun. We missed the Mayan Sandy match. Actually, I don't think that was the Mayan Sandy match for this week. Group A, week 5. No, Mayan Sandy's still yet to play Fox this week. I'm not sure how great of a series that would be to catch. The Skillforge versus CSC could be quite good. Alternate versus Vegas Squadron could be pretty good as well. Because a lot of games are actually being caught up from last week as well, guys. So yeah. Mayan Sandy not with a very strong lineup today actually against Skillforge. Not to take anything away from them, from Skillforge's victory. Just looking at it there, they send out Narcotic, Raynor, Penguin, and Winter. So yeah, just adding some Liquipedia while we wait for Beastie Cutie to come back, because it's bothering me that it doesn't say they didn't completely fill it out. So Beastie Cutie is now ready, so just gonna ask Petit Drogo if he is still ready, because he readied up quite some while ago. So let's hope he is, because I'm very excited to get into game number 6. You know what, guys, tonight I'm gonna have a takeaway. Bit of a random change of topic, but I've just decided I'm gonna have a takeaway tonight. Like, I've been meaning to cook like a big meal for a few days. I was just gonna like, put it in a box and keep it for a few days, but I just hadn't had a chance today. And I'm just feeling today feeling like a takeaway. You know, first day back streaming, back on schedule and stuff after what happened last week. So you know, first day back. I think we should reward ourselves with a takeaway. I don't know what to get though. You know, it's always the issue, isn't it? You know, do we go for Chinese, Indian, pizza? You know, pizza's a good choice. It's a Tuesday as well, isn't it? Ooh, could get Domino's. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know what to get. What do you guys think? Come on, give me some suggestions. Help me out here, guys. What should I get? I mean, the problem with Chinese is I always love the soup and stuff, but around here where I live for uni, it's always like it always ends up being disappointing. Like the main course, it's always like, oh. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I could get chow mein. That's always good. Man, I'm getting myself hungry now. We're in the game. Let's talk about the game, not my food. But if you guys do have some suggestions, please do let us know. I mean, we've got a little bit of time at the start of this series to kill some time, so why not? You know, why not? At the start of the series, at the start of this map, so why not talk a little bit about what I should eat? I don't know a poll, but that's too much typing. Alright guys, so in the lower left hand corner we have the yellow Terran player looking to close things out for Team Extreme Supremacy. It's Beastie Cutie. Alright, and guess what? His opponent is in the upper right hand corner from Nuit Blanche. It's Petit Drogo. Taking one map already to really make a series out of this best of 7, making sure it goes the distance. Is anyone important PMing me? No. Not in a nasty way, Demoniac Milk. Not in a nasty way, Lars. I'm sorry, but I'm sure it can be read after the game instead of during the game. So, guys, let's let's go. Ben Cross saying he can ask Petit Drogo what about the Tempest. I would actually love to know about the Tempest because it's really interesting to me. Like, what his plan was. I genuinely really like to know what exactly he was. What his idea was. Because we saw a Robobay. I'm not sure how. I forget now, but I'm pretty sure he saw the Robobay, then dropped the fleet beacon. So yeah, I don't know. I guess asking him would be the best way to go about it. Command Center first year for Beastie Cutie. He's such a greedy player. He's one of these players who just really focuses always on his economy. He's always just like, okay, let's bring it in, roll it in, guys. Bring it in. Reaps in the economy. He loves to get a bit of eco going into the game and stuff. So he likes these strong economic openings. And even against Protoss, he's going to open with 2 barracks afterwards. And of course, this puts him in a sick position to begin with. I mean, he's got such a great economy to build off as he goes later into the game now. Petit Drogo is going to be able to see... Oh, whoa. This probe is proxying a Stargate, isn't it? I mean, what else do you hide this probe here for? I guess, okay, I guess maybe waiting for later in the game because, it's at the time where Marine could be out. He saw some course, he's not proxying anything. I was slightly too quick to jump to that conclusion, right? I was slightly too quick to jump to that conclusion. So yeah, Beastie Cutie is coming in here. He will now. So I assume this probe is just hiding a while to maybe try and outsmart a Marine timing. He will come in now. You'll see by the timing of the orbital, he'll know that's a command center first. You'll see this is the first Marine, and he'll also actually get out with this probe. So he's just hiding the probe, making sure he could try and get in here and actually get some information. He didn't know his command center first. I mean, if it was I guess what's more standard, of course, is of course a Reaper opening. So basically, he was dodging the Reaper timing to then go in with his probe. So I see he's actually going to make it out alive as well. Both of these scouting workers from early in the game will head back home for now. As we see, Petit Drogo continues to just head eastwards. He's actually going to take the eastern tower, while his SCV is not going to take the western tower. He's just going to come down and take it and go back to work on the lateral. In fact, the probe going to walk back as well. I mean, honestly, not too much you need tower control for at this point in the game. Stargate is on the way for Petit Drogo, so he's going to be opening with an Oracle here again. Seems to be liking this start today, using it in that PvP just beforehand, and now going to be... now going to be using it in a PvT. And of course, Stargate always opens you to the opportunity to go into a Phoenix Colossi composition later in the game if you would like to. Of course, it doesn't limit you to that either, though. You don't have to make Phoenix. You can just go into your Colossi and upgrades, which would be the more standard way of playing things out. So we'll see what Petit Drogo wants to do here, as that Oracle is on the way. We've got a bunker on the way up for Beast Cutie. We've got a good group, solid group of Marines here. Actually, 8 Marines, sorry, 10 Marines in total here. And yeah, just going to put one of them in the bunker, leaves a few at the natural, and actually sends a couple out to get some map control. So he's actually got a turret in his main base already, so I mean he's pretty much, you know, he's safe. This is, you know, apart from, you know, to be fair, apart from a very early attack, you know, in terms of like maybe a Zealot Mothership Core Stalker Rush, it's very hard to kill a command center first team player because they have so many Marines out so quickly. Marines spots the Oracle here, which is really nice. They have the ability to get into that engineering bay nice and fast, so it's very hard to actually kill a CC first player unless you really commit to aggression like straight away very early on in the game. Oracle is deflected by this bunker as the SCVs are pulled because the Marines are a bit out of position here. It looks like BCQD actually maybe didn't even realize that Oracle in the middle of the map, because otherwise why would his Marines be so far out of position? He's just going to trade against these Marines in the main base, and he will kill off every single one of them. He will delay the factory as well and gets out with the Oracle. 8 kills in total, 3 of them workers. So not a bad start actually for Petit Drogo. Lowers the Marine count a bit and forces some lost mining time. And BCQD now invests in a turret in the natural. So mistake there by BCQD, because he really should have seen with this Marine that Oracle was on the way. And again, there's no way he did see it, because, you know, there's no way he did notice it, because otherwise he would have never moved his Marines out of position to only pull them back a little bit later. Adds on another turret here just to try and solidify his production line, his starport coming in, and he's actually going to get a single SCV kill. He should be able to nab a second if he wants to. He actually delays the starport again, and that is really nice. And this Oracle stays alive a little bit longer. Checking again for anything building that depot, but nothing was, so he's just going to get out of there now. To 10 kills on this Oracle, a great start for him, and damage he kind of needed to do considering that, you know, it was a very fast command center from Beast to Cutie. So a couple of units continue to warp in here. Robo Bay on the way. We've got double upgrades on the way, so double forge coming in from Petit Drogo, and very nice standard TVP, PVT play that we're seeing out of him right now. A few observers on the way out, get a lot of map control, you know, one position for drops from the right, one position across the map to see this army coming across, and probably see where this next one goes as well. It's actually also coming across the map, so I think he's actually just going to basically set up a line of vision from the south side. He's not too worried about drops into his natural, because of course his army's closer to his natural than it is the main. That Terran army is moving across at the same time. This Oracle's looking for a way in, and he will commit against the Marines, and he's just got enough, and he'll delay the third base as well. Stim's here, but he's out of there with the Oracle. And what a great little decision that was to commit on the Marines. It takes a lot of skill to know you've got, you know, it takes a lot of knowledge to know, right, that's, you know, I can just take this on. So he just got away with that there. Maybe if the Marine stemmed, maybe it would have worked out for BCQD a little bit better. As an observer just kind of sitting up here. First 2 medevacs on the way across the map. First Colossi out, some more Zealots coming in, because I mean he knows the medevacs are coming, so he knows he just needs to be able to hold on for a little while. He doesn't want to take too much damage. As BCQD actually working his way through these rocks to get ready to take his third base in kind of the setback position. As Petit Drogo actually moves out to greet this army. So Eus will just lift up into these medevacs, and immediately here we should see Petit Drogo just warping in some stalkers to be able to deal with this. But he will actually just fall back, not going to basically not going to risk these drops. So Petit Drogo, good defense so far. Third orbital command now on the way here, as he actually loads up another 2 medevacs worth of drops. So he's just going to go into a very heavy drop style here as the mid game begins. You know, going to be looking to kind of just drop here, there, and everywhere. You know, good drop defense to the main. The group of stalkers is nice. It should be enough to deter from a group of drops. I mean, the army's position at the third base, it's very easy for it to come into the natural. There's a mothership core at the natural, so everything is prepared for here. Apart from maybe looping straight into the main base from the position these 2 medevacs are in right now. So maybe that's the one little opening here. But of course, you can't cover anything, as Oracle will take a couple of shots from Vikings. You know, the army already here basically stops dropping immediately, picks up and gets out of there, loses a single Marine but not much else. I mean, he knows the army's there now, so does he commit forward with these medevacs or not is the question. Doesn't look as though he wants to do that just yet, of course. I mean, there's plenty of time in this game to launch an attack when he feels his opponent's at least prepared for it. Does come in and actually starts dropping in the back of this natural here, just as another cannon was added on. That cannon gets killed off. Stimming in, he's going to try and get that cannon. Nice target fire by Petit Drogo on that medevac with the photon overcharge, making sure to take that down, or try and take that down, make it a much easier target to pick off in the long run here. As BCQ turns around and tries to fight this, but has to pick up in the end. And now we'll just retreat with these couple of medevacs. So we're heading into a very standard TVP in all honesty. I mean, we've actually got Ghost Cannon on the way, we've got +1 vehicle weapons, we've got 1-1 coming here for our time play. No 2-2 just yet. He's added on a 6 gas, so I would imagine he's going to get 2-2 very soon. I don't think there's going to be any kind of SCV pull. And he does start at +2 now as well, so again, an SCV pull looking very unlikely. We've just seen continued Colossus production from Petit Drogo, going into his 4th Colossus now in the production tab. 2-2 is about to finish for him as well, so he's really doing well in upgrades. Of course, you know, wouldn't expect any other as a Revelation comes down. Wouldn't expect any other from a player who had a very fast double forge as he did. So BCQD grouping up with a few units, still a very minimal amount of units which are always kind of moving out here, but just enough to kind of be threatening with the drops basically. He still holds this watchtower to the right hand side, and that's pretty nice. And these couple of medevacs just continuing ahead over to this right hand side and seeing if they want to get anything done here. BCQD coming across the map at the same time, and will perhaps be looking to maybe take a fight even. Kind of weird. I mean, he doesn't have any medevacs with his army, so it's a little bit weird. And actually, Petit Drogo with these stalkers will spot these Vikings. Do they have blink? Yes, they do. So they can blink forward and take this if they want. The bio will just kind of turn around, stim into this. At the same time, drop coming into the natural. One of these medevacs was taken down very quickly. One cannon will fall. The other cannon will survive though, and photon overcharge used as well. At the same time, the medevacs coming in towards the main base. So dropping absolutely everywhere right now. BCQ just trying to pull his opponent apart. But it's kind of looking a bit difficult. A pylon will go down. He's going to be able to get that pylon on the way out as well. Oh, Stalker's blinking to the main base though, so it's not going to be happening. These medevacs just have to get out of there. And get out of there they do. So BCQD sitting around above this army right now. A bunch of Vikings, more Marines and Marauders coming out to join him. I mean, Petit Drogo's almost maxed out with 2-2 finished. Although he has actually let up on the kind of relentlessness which he's been starting upgrades with. As Blink Stalkers are going to catch these medevacs, and he should. Oh, he's actually just going to trade here. Okay, so just going to trade. He didn't quite get into the position he wanted to. Should be able to clean this up still. Brings one Stalker to the high ground, and now the rest of them coming up here as well to be able to try get the medevacs, and he will not. But he cleans out all of the bio units at least, and loses a fair few Stalkers to do that though. So yeah, I was saying, the relentless upgrading of Petit Drogo has ceased a little bit because it's been a while since 2-2 finished. He's only just starting 3-3 now. He's moving across the map with a ton of units though. He's got a lot of gateways behind this as well. 11 gateways to warp in from as reinforcements. New BCQD adding on a nuke here. Will this be ready in time though? He sees this army coming across. He's going to start pre-splitting a little bit. Now there's no storm in this army. He's got no Templars. It's just straight up a big fight, just as it is. Colossi basically going to be used as the main damage dealers here. The EMPs are going to be huge, and where do the EMPs drop? Well, they don't really drop on the way in. The Vikings are doing a good job against these Colossi. In fact, only one Colossus remains here, but BCQD just loses so much. His army's just disappeared out of, it's just gone. And Petit Drogo is going to take us to a Game 7, an ace match between Team Extreme Supremacy and Nuit Blanche. And oh dear, BCQD just, I don't know what it was. I think maybe he just threw away a few too many dropships throughout the game, and then maybe if he landed the EMP, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, right? Like, I think the EMPs when the army came in weren't exactly the best, because he's a little bit late to respond. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? It's difficult to say. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Petit Drogo goes up in an ace match against who I'm assuming will be Star Eagles, so another PvT, but if anything changes, I will let you know in the chat as soon as possible, guys. Hit the follow button if you're enjoying the show to see when we go live with more SC2 improved Team League action as well as our other events. And we'll be back here very, very, very soon. Who needs to listen to music when we have an ace match on our hands? Game 7, what a great series to kind of come back to. Always great to see a series go to Game 7. Petit Drogo making it happen right now for Nuit Blanche, and his final opponent will be Morcridare, or Morcridare. I don't know, I'm just going to call him Morcrid, because I think that might be easiest. So, it's a PvZ, I'm not gonna lie, I've just said it in the chat, I haven't heard of this Zerg player before, in the upper left hand corner from Team Extreme Supremacy. He is Markrid Dare, oh, I'm probably murdering it, someone please correct me. So, he's a Swedish player, in fact, I've just looked him up on Liquipedia. He's a Swedish player, he's part of the main team, again, but he must play on a barcode, because he's not ranked on this account. And again, he must be kind of, he must have a plan here, because Star Eagle was in the chat. He's in, we've seen Star Eagle come out. Star Eagle's the reason these guys qualified for the SC2ITL. So we've seen him come out before, but he's not going to be used today. So sending out Morkridare instead. In the lower right hand corner, the red Protoss player from Nuit Blanche, it's Petit Drogo. So, interestingly to note straight away is that we've had this gas come down from Morkridare. Morkrid or Merc. I don't know how to pronounce the umlaut on the O. Mork, whatever. Yeah, so he gets a gas before his pool after a hatchery first. He's going to have a very quick Zergling speed here available to him. So straight away the potential to maybe go for some kind of aggression with that. And we'll see what happens. Petit Drogo, he gets a fairly quick Nexus down off of a gate expand. He starts chrono boosting now at his warp gate, in fact. And he has his mothership core on the way as well. So yeah, kind of intriguing as we just wait for something to really kind of start taking shape here. Now we have seen our Zerg player pull out of gas at 100, so it's just the Zergling speed. He wants to get in here nice and quick. His first 2 queens on the way. He's going to get a couple of injects down, and then if he does want to make lings, that will be the time to make them. As we see a probe coming out here, and he will be fair. He will be putting this first gateways down very far forward here. The best way to basically wall off in this position on Foxtrot, and it will actually be all 3 gateways, so he's actually going to go up to 4 gateways in total. So maybe here Petit Drogo going to be turning up the aggression for himself and going for some kind of 4 gate, well, I would imagine some 4 gate pressure. Probe's already moving out on the map. Third base already coming down from Morkid for our Zerg play as well at the gold, so that's very standard as well. And it may just be this is what Petit Drogo is aiming towards, to cancel a gold base for a gold third base with some very fast zealots. However, a lot of lings already on the way out, and I get the feeling that this is why he got speed so early on as well, to be able to defend and attack like this. And straight away here, 2 lings are actually on the hunt, and 1 ling is going to find a zealot, and he doesn't quite see the pylon, but he sees the mothership core. So straight away here, he knows something is up. Now them gateways are just finishing, they're just now starting to warp into warp gates, and these lings are here with speed as well, so the first zealot going to start going down. Warp pins will be used, but the lings are just going to wrap around these zealots immediately, and Petit Drogo is not going to get anything done with this at all, completely shut down. And I mean, Mork just actually backs off here. He thinks, well, okay, I think killing off the pylon is definitely the right thing to do. And immediately here, Petit Drogo, he's only on a single gas, so he's going to have to start taking his assimilators. And yeah, I mean, his early pressure has not worked at all. He's delayed gas to do this, and he doesn't really have a follow-up just yet. So not the best of starts actually for Petit Drogo in this game. I feel as though he's a little bit I think he's kind of meted to a whole new level here by Mork. And of course, as Zerg player now with a gold base finished, he's going to be able to transfer some good amount of drones over there to get working on them gold minerals and to increase his income by a decent amount. And there they are transferring over right now. So hey, he's going to be looking at this like, perfect, some gold minerals, just what I like at the start of my game. And yeah, I mean, what can Petit Drogo do? He starts to add his 3rd and 4th gas now after his 2nd gas has only been down for him. He's only mined 50 gas from it. Now I'm trying to scout into the main base, but there's nothing to scout yet because Petit Drogo's delayed his tech by so much to open with these 4 gateways. Got some sentries out to make sure he's going to be safe from a counterattack. He now just adds on a forge, so I imagine we're just going to see a robo facility added on here very soon. Maybe actually we could just see a robo facility first, observer, maybe an immortal, so, and then the Twilight Council to move towards a 3rd base with. Zergling's kind of looking around, seeing if they can find anything, checking for a fast 3rd base, leaving 1 Zergling over here. So this is kind of cute, but yeah, actually we're going to see this little army from Petit Drogo starting to move out a little bit. Another sentry comes in and joins us. He's actually going to, is he really going to move out with this? I think he's very simply just, getting in a position where he can grab these Zerglings if they come a little bit too close, a little bit closer than they expect to be caught from. So, Rotron, Evo Chamber on the way, so we just see a very standard transition from our Zerg player. This army is moving across the map, and I mean, with the ability to recall, there's no real, huge commitment to this. And there's a couple of force fields coming down here. Wow, see a couple, 5 force fields in total coming down. Gonna force some more Zerglings, but of course it cost him some sentry energy as well. 12 more Zerglings on the way. Of course, this is actually a pretty abusive position down here, and you actually will catch some probes in here. So this is kind of nice, a little bit of a move from Petit Drogo. Grabs himself 4 drone kills and denies mining on this gold base for a little while here. So Roach one about to finish. We're about to see an explosion of roaches because he's got a lot of money Morkadare saved up. So we're going to see an explosion of roaches, and of course Petit Drogo can just recall as soon as he feels safe enough to do so. He actually takes his third base out the gold as well. He's going to start SimCity in the cannon and getting set to go on in the game. So I think it's looking good for him as these eggs are, well, one of them eggs gets cancelled. I don't know what that was. But roaches and lings starting to build up here. Hallucinate Phoenix going for a bit of a scout now. Lair has finished, so he can start teching from this point on, and I don't think he's going to tech until he turns this away. And now that he's gone, I think now's the time where he starts to decide, is it Roach Hydra? Are we going to see an infestation pit for Swarm Host straight away? What's it going to be out of our Zerg player for the next stage of this game? We see Twilight Council coming in for Petit Drogo, still actually currently without a robotics facility on the map. So he is just going to go straight into +2. Blink as well to defend this third base with. There's a lot of units here right now. It's going to come down to the force fields. He catches a lot of these Zerglings. And that's actually a great little start to this fight for Nuit Blanche's Petit Drogo. And, well, more Droges actually being caught as well. Is he overcommitting here? More Zerglings are just trying to come down. Sentries are starting to run out of energy, but there's just not that many roaches anymore. And these roaches are just going to have to get away. No! Another couple of force fields come in and combine with the Time Warp. Petit Drogo cleans out the entire Zerg army. What an engagement that was for him. Look at the resources lost. Morkadare, he just commits way too much to that fight, and all of a sudden the force fields reign supreme. And I mean, Petit Drogo, you know, I think winning a fight like that, move out. You know, you've got such an opportunity now. You've killed off so much. Even, you know, what's the likelihood he's going to have a decent? You know, you've lost nothing. Theoretically, there should be no way unless he really was, you know, so far ahead from the start. There's force fields available to kind of buy time if he does need to retreat as well. Petit Drogo knows it's time to go in for a kill move right now. Nuit Blanche, they were 3-1 down, but it looks as though Petit Drogo has the ace match in his eyes and victory in this series for his team as a force field comes down to pick up some more drones on this gold. Hydras are in this army. They have some decent DPS. No blink, no +2 yet for a pros player, but it might not even matter here. Hydras continue to come forward with a few of these roaches. A couple of sentries going down, a Stalker as well. There's just so much damage that these Stalkers can do from the high ground, denying gas, denying mining on this gold. Back at home, of course, Petit Drogo, his gold base is completely uncontested right now. There's more roaches trying to come out here just to help out this army. Another couple of pylons being added on to make sure that they're not picked off. And as reinforcements on cut off here, coming in, the Hydras for roaches, is it going to be enough? The sentries are falling, but there's so many Stalkers from Petit Drogo. And it looks as though there's just going to be way too much, so many Stalkers left over here, and continues to move forward. Blink and +2 are about to finish up as well, which is going to make any further fight even more in favor of our Protoss player. It looks as though Nuit Blanche, they were put on the edge, they were put into a tough position here today. But it looks as though they're going to come out with their victory. More Stalkers coming in here. This third base has been broken. And Petit Drogo will just slowly start to pick away at this as Team Extreme Supremacy Zerg player will look for a way to try and hold on. He comes in with some more roaches here, but now Blink is finished, +2 is finished, and nothing is going the Zerg players' way as the Time Warp drops, G is called, and victory screen pops up for Petit Drogo and for Nuit Blanche. They take the victory 4 games to 3, and GG was had by all. What a series, what a fantastic series for my first series back casting SC2ITL after a little bit of a funny week. So great series, really glad we chose to cast this tonight. It's been a ton of fun, genuinely thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got a very quick Twitch shout out to do because one person has hit follow, so thank you to Quevor44 for hitting the follow button. We will run a few ads on the outro, guys, so if you've got a few moments and you've got your ad block turned off and you don't mind muting the stream when we run some ads, it does help us out. It does help us fund the SC2 Improve Team League. I know you're probably sat there thinking, but does it really? Yes, it really does. We're actually already, I think, about 25 to 35% of this season funded, which is amazing. Because I don't expect to make the money back that I put into this, but to be able to get the money back means that basically we can put on an even bigger season 4. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's very minimal, but you know, every little helps. So if you do have a few moments, please do stick around. Great games. Congratulations to Nuit Blanche, and commiserations to Team Extreme Supremacy. Such a close series. Always a heartbreak to go down from a 3-1 advantage and lose 3-4. But Petit Drogo played some great games here. Some great PvP, PvT, and PvZ. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Go check out Remax. Desro is currently hosting that with Rotterdam, Nathanius, and the crew. So do go check that out after the ads. I will be hosting that on my channel. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all tomorrow against All Authority versus Team MIA. Not sure exactly what time it starts, but it shouldn't. I think it's 7ish, 8ish. It's EU evening time. So, guys, watch out for it in TL calendar, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hit the follow button and stuff, and yeah.